You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio Channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Welcome to Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living with your host, Rosalind Sedacca. Join Rosalind each week on a journey toward overcoming life's many challenges to achieve peace, empowerment, and positive transformation. It's time to relax, unwind, and transform your life with Rosalind Sedacca.
Hello, everyone. This is Rosalind Sedacca, founder of the Child-Centered Divorce Network. And you're listening to WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network. The show is Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living with Rosalind Sedacca. I'm going to be speaking to you today about 3 essential keys to rebuilding your self-esteem after divorce. We all know that divorce can be devastating on so many levels. And in addition to the financial stress and the toll on both partners emotionally and psychologically, it easily can wreak havoc on your self-esteem. And whether you've initiated the divorce process yourself or whether the divorce clobbered you and it was something that you weren't expecting or don't desire, you can be filled with a lot of emotions, a lot of turmoil, guilt, anxiety, insecurity, fear about the future, low self-esteem about, will anyone ever find you desirable again, or a lot of concerns about your children. And that, as you know, is the focus of the Child-Centered Divorce Network, helping parents prepare themselves before, during, and long after divorce to parent their children and co-parent their children effectively. But regardless of what your circumstances are, divorce takes a toll on your self-esteem. And we want to be there to support you in every possible way. As a personal divorce coach and someone who specializes in divorce and co-parenting, I thought I'd share with you some valuable insights and tips that'll help you move ahead productively during the divorce and long after the divorce so that you can make the best decisions for yourself, for your family, and especially to protect your self-esteem and your sense of self. And we all know that family and friends are a great source of support, and they're usually very well-intentioned when we're going through times of stress and challenge. But sometimes their support may not come in the form and at the time that you want it and need it. People who are friends and family all have their own agendas, their own perspectives, and their own values about marriage and family and divorce. Sometimes they color their messages of support in ways that make you feel less supported or make you feel shame or guilt or insecurity about what's happening in your life, make you feel that you're to blame or that you're responsible or that you weren't strong enough in handling the situation. And none of that, of course, is good for us. And what you need most at this difficult time is a sincere support system that's compassionate and dispassionate so that it's objective and knowledgeable and responsible. And not everyone has that at all times. Of course, that's why I highly recommend seeking out a divorce coach such as myself, because that is a system that you can use to protect you in the weeks and months ahead. Obviously, going to a counselor, a therapist, and working out issues that may have confronted you and confusing you and make you feel questioning about your future and how to look for new relationships is also very important. So there's many things you can do to step out of yourself and get help. But what I want to focus on in this call today is suggestions to guide you in boosting your own self-esteem during the divorce and its aftermath, because you need to feel good about yourself every step of the way. So key number 1 that I want to address is being committed to releasing the past. And that can be very challenging because you may be consumed with the past. You may be overwhelmed by what happened in the past. You may be replaying incidents and experiences and conversations and arguments and things that you're telling yourself about yourself that all happened in the past. If only I had said this, if only I had done that. Why didn't I think about this? Why wasn't I aware of those consequences? And the reality is that we can't undo the past, but the past can undo us if we're not aware and conscious of how it's burdening us. So it's important to commit yourself to releasing the past in all of its forms and all of its shapes. Moving on is all about your mindset. And if you stay stuck in reliving and clinging to what no longer is your reality, then you're keeping yourself from opening the door to the next chapter in your life. And divorce is a time when you need to be focusing on the next chapter, the future, how life is going to be for you in the months ahead, in the years ahead, in the decades ahead. And it can be a wonderful opportunity for fine-tuning things in your life, making changes and shifts, looking at things differently, uncovering issues that need to change. So there can and will be better and brighter days ahead, but only if you allow your awareness and awareness of that into your experience. You need to make space in your life now for introspection and thinking about how you could cut the cord to the past so that it's not owning you and it's not destroying your peace of mind. And you also want to make space in your life for new friends and new relationships, not necessarily romantic relationships at first, but relationships with new people, new energy, maybe new career options, and maybe new fulfilling activities. Maybe there's things that you've always wanted to do but haven't because you were caught in your marriage and relationship and it wasn't appropriate. Well, now's the time to explore the things you haven't explored, and to look for new opportunities and to expect new opportunities in new places. So step out of your comfort zone and the boundaries you've set for yourself and do different things. Do new things. Try new things. Experiment. Explore. Everything won't work out perfectly. Everything won't be to your liking. But you may discover that you do like something new that you've never tried, whether it's a musical instrument or a sport or activity or a hobby or an interest in community service and volunteering and helping in an animal shelter, going to new places, museums, trying new types of music, hanging out in venues that normally were not your regular status quo situation and place to be. All of that is helpful. It helps to see the future as a positive new beginning for you and for your children. So do new things with your kids as well. Take them to places that you haven't been to for a while, other parts of town, in other towns and places. Explore things that are new and different because you will feel so rewarded from those new discoveries and finding things that give you joy in life that you maybe never touched on. And you'll be pleasantly surprised about what you can create when you anticipate new things ahead and good things ahead. So this is a very important step. And releasing the past also means cutting the cord to replaying those movies in your head of scenes that were hurtful and painful and sad. You don't want to be doing that because you get caught in the drama and your mindset believes you're still in it. It may be months since your divorce, but if you're still replaying inner movies in your mind and inner dialogue and replaying that over and over again, then you are still back in there and your body is being impacted and affected by all of that negativity. So cutting the cord means literally in the middle of those movies in your mind, say, cut, stop, the end, delete, whatever you need to say to yourself to break it off and consciously put something else in its place. think about something else that's new and important for you, and see how free you feel, how fresh you feel, how exhilarating it is to be letting go of pain in the past, and then focusing on the future, what's ahead. Another important step for you is to choose your company wisely. What a wonderful time to make decisions about choosing company wisely. Obviously, we can't easily change other people, but we can change the company we associate with. Now, yes, your family are people that you can't change easily and readily, but your social group can be changed and shifted, especially if you're not getting the support that you need emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. So think about changing who you spend a lot of time with. If your social group isn't supportive of you or tends to wallow in self-pity or tends to keep seeing you as a victim and reminding you of your victimhood, then realize that you have a choice in your life about who you're spending time with. You can choose instead to be with more aware, more conscious people. You could choose to be with more introspective people who accept responsibility for their own behavior and make choices accordingly, rather than from a victim mindset of this happened to me and I had no choice about it. And you could choose to be with people who are proactive in moving ahead and transforming their lives. Yes, some are like that, and others are not like that. So it's very important that you make this distinction and transform your life accordingly, choosing people who will be there for you in the most positive way. And that also means moving out of the blame game, blaming yourself and blaming others for the situation that you were in, because that's a downward cycle. It just goes deeper and deeper, taking you deeper and deeper into a hole of blaming yourself or blaming your ex or blaming other people around you in other situations and the other woman, the other man, the other people who played a part in your drama. Let go of that and put yourself in the company of more positive people. Especially seek out and choose people with high self-esteem. You could tell people with high self-esteem because they don't wallow in self-pity and victimhood. And if you choose people who feel good about themselves, you'll feel better being around them. Especially choose people who appreciate you for who you are and what you are, with all of your assets and all of your baggage, but the wonderful person that you are. So you don't have to play games with yourself and others. You don't have to put on airs and pretend to be something you're not. You want to find new friends, new groups, new support systems, new activities where people look at you and admire you for who you are. And, of course, that means you have to learn to admire yourself that same way. Very important to do that. And to acknowledge your warts, your baggage, your insecurities and fears, knowing that you can work on them. The way you are today doesn't mean you're set. You can move on and be a different person in the next few months, in the next few years, and life will totally change for you. And you may find these people where you least expect them. So step out of your comfort zone, as we spoke about earlier, and be receptive to new friends and new experiences and finding them in new places, and that will make a huge difference in the outcome in your life. So we're going to stop for just a minute to take a break, and we will be right back. This is Rosalind Sedacca with WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network. The show is Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Cece Schatz, and I want to welcome you to Going Solo Next Step. We are an innovative, transformational site with a personal touch, as we are an online, interactive, social website connecting other like-minded individuals who are adjusting to their new life of being single. Going Solo Next Step will connect and help you deal with issues such as relationship loss, divorce recovery, relationship building, transition into dating, single parenting, spiritual connection, inspirational plus personal growth, sparking your career and understanding your life path, wants, and goals. As you begin relationship building, you will enjoy Going Solo Next Step social activities and forums designed to connect you and other like-minded individuals to make great, everlasting friends. Together, we will all have fun in growing number of social groups and gatherings, both in your location and online. This and so much more is in store for you. You can join me on www.goingsolonextstep.com. I'm looking forward to being with you right there on Going Solo Next Step. See you there.
Hello, everyone. This is Rosalind Sedacca. You're listening to the Going Solo Network, Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living with Rosalind Sedacca. And today we've been talking about 3 keys to rebuilding your self-esteem after divorce. The first key that we mentioned was being committed to releasing the past and all that's connected to it in your mind and in your thoughts, and in your body as well. The second key was choosing your company wisely. Make a shift and a change in who you're hanging with, because that's going to change the energy of your conversations and your communication and what you do and experience. And the third key is being flexible about change. And this is something that is useful for you no matter what facet of life you're experiencing, even if it's not about divorce. We all need to be flexible about change. Why? Because life is always filled with changes, not just during divorce. We have to get comfortable with the reality that the seasons change, fashion styles change, sports teams change, the grades in schools change for our children, our job situations change, friendships change, we move to different neighborhoods. Life is always filled with change, and the more open and receptive we are to adapting to change and being flexible with change, the easier life is on every level, because no matter how happy you are in the moment, things are going to change. But that also means no matter how unhappy you are, how depressed and uncomfortable you are with your current situation, that too is going to change, and that's the good news. So we need to be aware of and get comfortable with unknowns ahead, because the future is unknown for everyone, and we need to accept that change is inevitable. So while the dark periods in our life are tough to handle, remember that they too will fall away and be replaced with better days and better experiences and hopefully wonderful new relationships. So one of the ways to do that is to listen to your self-talk and let go of limiting beliefs about yourself. We all have inner dialogue, and it's very important that we catch what we're telling ourselves, because very often during dark times, during sad times, we tell ourselves things that are depressing. We tell ourselves we're not good enough, we're not worthy enough, we didn't do what's right, no one's going to want us again, there's no one out there for us. And if we have conversations with ourselves like that, then we start believing that, and it shifts our worldview. We're not as optimistic, we become pessimistic, we become depressed, we go down a cycle of depression and endless negativity. And we have to start a new spiral upward of positive thoughts and positive expectations. So when you catch yourself in doubt and fear or language that's putting yourself down or putting others around you down, become aware of the messages you're telling yourself and actually consciously refute it. I am a worthy parent. I am a beautiful person. I will attract a new loving partner. I do deserve to be happy in my relationships, and I'm going to have a wonderful future relationship. My children love me and know how much I love them. I am a good person. I am a worthwhile person. I deserve a wonderful, peaceful, happy, loving life. Whatever you need to say to yourself that makes you feel good within, internally, that's what you need to be telling yourself. When you hear yourself putting yourself down and mistreating yourself, we all need to parent ourselves, whether we had wonderful parents in the past or whether our parents were lacking and negligent in quality parenting skills. We all can parent ourselves as adults. And it starts now at a time when you need it most. Tell yourself things that a loving parent would tell you about your value, about your worth, about your qualities, about how good a partner you are and will be to a future person who's worthy of you, and that you are going to attract into your life someone who is worthy of you. So when you talk to yourself that way, you feel better about yourself, and when you feel better about yourself, you move ahead with a different air, a different energy, and it's energy that attracts people into our lives, both good and bad. Determine what you want to change about yourself from within at this time also. So if there's things you want to change, things you did wrong or that you want to do differently or that you want to change about your self-esteem, list those things down. Whether they're physical things like losing weight, whether they're emotional things like being more outspoken and candid about your needs, whether they're things that have to do with stopping drinking or using drugs, whatever the shifts and changes are, identify them first, and then relax about controlling things and circumstances around you, because life is full of changes beyond our control. We can't control life. That's why we get so frustrated. If we are aware of that, we can let go of so much fear and anxiety and insecurity and just know that life is going to happen, and we will tackle whatever happens day by day as it happens. We don't have to be filled with fear and anxiety in advance because we don't know what's going to happen. And a majority of the things we worry about very often don't take place. They don't happen. They don't occur. We just sit and worry and spend sleepless nights worrying in advance. So we don't want to do that. We want to change what we can change about ourselves that we have control over and let go of anxiety about what we can't control. And that's going to give you peace of mind, a peaceful life, more happiness, more harmony, wonderful future ahead because you're letting go of so much stress. And when you come to accept the reality of the changes that are taking place in your life, you'll feel much more at peace with yourself and also more at peace with those around you. So that's going to improve your relationship with your children. It's going to improve your relationship with other family members, with your work colleagues and coworkers, and it's going to improve the odds of you attracting into your life someone who's in a better state of mind than possibly your former spouse. Remember, life is all about choices and decisions. I'm going to repeat that. Life is all about choices and decisions. It seems so obvious, but we don't realize that we have the freedom of making choices and decisions every minute of our life. They're not made for us. We have the freedom to make those choices, and those choices are what impacts our life. And if we made a poor choice, own it, apologize, forgive yourself, forgive others, and then move on in a different direction. It's that simple. It's not easy, but it's a simple thing to understand, and that's what we're talking about today. So you have the opportunity to use your divorce as a catalyst for positive change. You can choose to be the person and the parent you most want to be, starting today, this minute. You don't have to wait another moment. And then watch how circumstances around you settle into place more harmoniously, more easily, more successfully than you ever expected. It's our fears and anxieties that hold us back. It's our negative messages and beliefs about ourselves that hold us back. Life is an inside job. It's not what other people are saying about us. It's what we believe about ourselves that really influence who we are and what we are saying and doing and what we're becoming. And the good news is we have the ability to change that, to shift that. And that's what I do in divorce and co-parenting counseling, is not only work on you with the physical issues of how do I protect my children and how do I co-parent more successfully, but also working on self-esteem issues so that you could move on past your divorce into a new realm, into an opportunity for a better, brighter future, because it's an inside job. It's what we're telling ourselves that impacts the decisions we make, and we can choose to make those changes. We need to have high self-esteem in life in order to be respected and accepted. Some of us walk around with kick me signs on our back, and when people mistreat us, we wonder, why am I always being mistreated? Well, there's an energy we're giving off that says, I don't deserve to be respected, I'm not worthy of respect. And abusers, unfortunately, find people with low self-esteem and abuse them. If you're wearing a kick me sign on your back, someone's going to come along and take advantage. They're not good people. They're exploitive. But that's what happens. They find the weak. They find the insecure. They find the people who are already feeling down and tough and depressed, and they exploit them, and they take advantage of them. So if that's happened to you in your past in any way at any time, that doesn't mean you have to have that in your future. It's worth going to coaching, counseling, therapy, groups, support groups of any kind to make a shift. Everything in life is about making a shift. If you don't like where you are today, look for the shift you can make that's going to change things for tomorrow. But the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior unless we make that shift. So if you make no changes and then you have a divorce and then you go out and you find another partner in life without making any internal shifts, it's very likely that your relationship is going to appear very similar to the one that you left, the one that you lost, the one that created the divorce, because your patterns haven't changed. It's essential that we change our patterns, that we rebuild our self-esteem, that we change our energy, and we change what we attract into our life. And that takes internal change first. So you see, I'm harping on this very strongly today in the call because I want you to understand that doing nothing is going to keep you in the same place you were at. You have to make that internal change. And the good news is no one could do it except you, and you can do it. You can change your beliefs about yourself. You can do it yourself. You can do it with articles that are helpful. You could do it through workshops. You could do it through coaching and counseling. You could do it through support groups. You could do it through reading material, taking online courses, anything that's going to make a shift in your life. And you know what? Your children will thank you too, because as a parent, you want to be a role model for your children and show up as the best you can be, and show them that they have opportunities to make shifts and changes in life. If they're not happy in their current situation, they can do something different, choose different friends, choose different activities, behave differently, boost their own self-esteem, and life is going to change and shift for them. We need to change the generation after generation of negative belief systems and behavior that's passed along. People who come from families that are dysfunctional and toxic, ending up repeating the same patterns as their parents did. So domestic violence continues, so drug abuse continues, so alcohol abuse continues, so insecurity and depression continues. All of these things are shiftable and changeable if we start from within and work on ourselves. And that is really wonderful, promising news. So I'm excited to be a source of help and support for any of you. And you could reach me at Rosalind, ROSALIND, at childcentereddivorce.com. That's Rosalind at childcentereddivorce.com. And you could visit childcentereddivorce.com to find free ebook right on the home page. You could go to childcentereddivorce.com/book And there's another ebook waiting for you on co-parenting success strategies. And you'll find in the blogs tons of articles that are helpful and supportive for moving you through your divorce and into successful co-parenting and into successful higher self-esteem. It's all there, as well as several coaching books and coaching programs. Just click the coaching button that you'll find them all there so that you can find just the program that works for you, that resonates for you, that'll do the job for you. And, of course, one-on-one coaching that I provide. All of the information is at childcentereddivorce.com. So thank you for joining us today. Again, this is Rosalind Sedacca on WGSN-DB, the Going Solo Network. You've been listening to Divorce, Dating, and Empowered Living with Rosalind Sedacca, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.